Proven Ground Catback that we have here today is currently the most affordable full stainless system on the site for your 09 to 18 5.7 Ram at home, while also adding a little extra muscle to the rear end thanks to that dual exit configuration. Now, interested buyers can look forward to that quality 409 grade stainless steel throughout, including your chambered muffler design, which is going to allow for an aggressive yet modest tone overall. Now, price point's going to live in that mid to high $500 range, and the install, according to the site, is going to get a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, take you about 2 to 3 hours or so to complete from start to finish. But since we are dealing with an exhaust after all, what do you say we just jump right into the sound you can expect with the Proven Ground system bolted up? And as I just mentioned at the top of this video, guys, I like the Proven Ground because it is going to be a noticeable increase in sound over your factory system, but it's not ridiculous and it's not over the top. Listen, if you want to be the loudest truck on the block, there are going to be more aggressive, louder systems out there. Now, on the other hand, if you're just looking for something that's going to give you a nice increase in sound, a nice bark, but not drive the wife and family crazy on long trips, well, then this might be a good option for you. So, breaking out my patented Wake to Neighbor scale, I have the Proven Ground chambered system coming in at a middle of the road 3 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake to Neighbor scale. Now, inside the truck, on the other hand, I would say things do remain equally as quiet given the exterior noise of the system. Yes, you hear it, but it's certainly not as loud or as offensive as some more aggressive systems when we're talking about drone inside the cab. But with that Hemi sound pretty much covered, what do you say we move into quality of construction, build, all that good stuff? And again, guys, you are currently looking at one of the most affordable full stainless steel systems available for your Ram at home. Now, you can expect 409 grade stainless steel to be exact, kind of your middle of the road material in regards to being just behind the 304 grade system, which is your premium material, but still I would say a step above an aluminized steel system on the low end, typically your entry level metal. Now, the 409, again, still a very solid material, still going to offer great corrosion resistance. So even if you live in a snowy, salty area, this thing should stand the test of time and give you a lot of good years without the worry about any corrosion. But aside from your 409 grade stainless material, guys, you're looking at a combination of 3-inch and 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing throughout that does lead into and out of your chambered muffler design before exiting out your 3.5-inch polished tips here, which, by the way, these guys have actually been made from that 304 grade stainless, your top of the line material. That's nice because ultimately that's what you're going to see the most of, and that 304 is essentially impervious to corrosion. Last but not least, guys, the Proven Ground system does include all of your necessary clamps, all your necessary hardware to get everything bolted up to your Ram at home. Now, this is a perfect time to actually segue into the installation process, guys. Talk a little bit more about what's involved when it comes time to not only remove your factory system, but obviously get the new Proven Ground system in place. So without further ado, go ahead and grab your toolbox. Let's head out to the garage and show you how it's done.
Tools used for this install: 3/8 electric impact gun, dead blow hammer, a 3/8 extension, 17 and 16 millimeter sockets, an exhaust hanger removal tool, and a 3/8 electric ratchet. Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to install our dual exhaust system here on our 2014 Ram 1500. But first we're going to watch a quick uninstall video of how to take this off, and then we'll jump right back into the install.
We have to remove our factory system. That includes pulling both tailpipes on either side of the truck as well as the factory muffler. We're going to unbolt the tailpipes from the muffler first using a 15 millimeter socket. That's going to allow us to pull the tailpipes off of the rubber isolators. All right, now that we have those 2 tailpipe clamps loosened on the muffler, we're going to go ahead and pull the tailpipes from the isolators. Once the tailpipes are pulled from the rubber isolators, that's going to give us enough leverage that we can kind of wriggle them out from the muffler itself, and then we can actually pull our muffler. All right, now that we have our driver's side tailpipe removed, we're going to do the same thing for the passenger side. The passenger side only has one hanger up here, makes it a little bit easier on us. All right, next we have to loosen the clamp securing our muffler to our flow tube here. That's also going to be a 15mm socket. With the clamp holding our muffler loosened, we're going to spray down our last two rubber isolators, and then we're going to pull the muffler from our mid-pipe. Now, if any of those rubber isolators are giving you a hard time, you can actually knock the muffler loose from the clamp that you loosened using a dead blow mallet. That'll give you enough leverage to pull it out of the rubber isolator.
So now that we have our stock exhaust off, we're going to start by installing this front pipe here that goes before the muffler. We're going to put this in place, then we'll start our muffler. So what we're going to do is install our front pipe here. You're going to see that there's a little notch right here, and on top of your factory pipe here, there's a little nub sticking out. So I'm going to slide my clamp in place, keep this facing to the top, slide it in, feel till it goes in place like that. I'm going to put my clamp right here. I'm going to take my 3/8 gun with my 17mm, snug this up. I'm going to have to give it a little bit more just to get it and hold it in place here so we can put our muffler on. So that's better, at least it's a little snug. Now we'll install our muffler. So now we have our front pipe in place. We're going to take our muffler. You're going to notice it has an inlet stamped in this top. So you're going to put the single side this way, the dual side that way. And now what I'm going to do is put the muffler up, put it in place, and then tighten the clamp and snug it up in place. So now I'm going to slide the muffler onto our pipe, just like that. I'm going to take my 3/8 gun, my 17mm, snug our clamp up. And I'm just going to snug it so that we're able to move the muffler around where we need it to once we get our tailpipes on. Next, we'll be installing our tailpipes. Now we're going to fish our passenger side tailpipe through. We're going to get it up in place and then go up into our grommet up top there above our muffler for now. And we'll get that there. And then we'll start putting our back grommet in. So I'm just going to push it back and put it up into this rubber grommet there. And we'll pull it out a little bit. That way we can slide it into our muffler. Now we have it in both our grommets. What I'm going to do is just push up on the muffler, slide our pipe just like that. That holds our tailpipe in place. We'll take our 16mm on our 3/8 gun here, and I'll just snug up our clamp. Now we'll install the driver's side tailpipe. Same deal with this tailpipe. We're going to fish it through our chassis, and then we're going to end up sliding it into our rubber grommet up there, and then sliding it into our back grommet back here. And once you have them in the hanger or the brackets into the grommets there, both hangers, we're going to install the tailpipe into our muffler like that. You're going to want to make sure it might come out of the grommet like it did up here. You just have to push it back in like that. And once we have it in place, I'm going to take my gun again with my 16mm, snug this one up. Now we'll work on the back, start installing the rest of the pipes back to our tips. So now the second part of the driver's side tailpipe is this piece here. I stuck my clamp on already. What you're going to do, stick it into the rubber hanger here, So once you get it in place there, then you're going to be able to put it up in place, slide it over this pipe, and again, I got my hanger already on. We're in place. I'm going to take my 3/8 gun. I'm going to take my 3/8 gun with my 16 millimeter and snug this one up. I'm going to hold it in place while I snug it. And it's still movable, but it's snug just for now. Now we'll work on our extension pipes here to go to our tips. So next, on the driver's side, we're going to install this pipe here. I already put my clamp on. This is going to be the extension part before you stick your tips on. And again, what I'm going to do is kind of try to eyeball this up where it's got to be. That's kind of why I only snugged the clamps up. That way you can move these pipes around when you start to stick your tips on to make everything look good. I'm going to take my 16 millimeter on my gun, snug this one up. Still able to move everything, and we'll get everything in place. And once we get everything in place, then we'll start tightening our clamps up really good. That way nothing moves. Now we're on the passenger side. We're going to do the same. I stuck my clamp on. We're going to slide this one and kind of eyeball it for now. Put it on all the way. And then all I'm going to do is snug this up. Then I can move everything once I get my tip on. We're going to install our tip. It already has a pre-welded clamp on it. We're going to slide this on place. So now I'm going to take my 16 millimeter, tighten this clamp up. And now you're just going to want to repeat that procedure on the opposite side. So now we're going to go back and tighten up all our clamps, and I'm going to start back here. Make sure you hold your pipe so it don't move. You're going to do that on the opposite tailpipe too. So now I'm going to tighten this middle one up here for our passenger tailpipe. Now we'll tighten our tailpipes at the muffler. So now we're going to tighten up these two here at the muffler. Same thing, 16 millimeter with my 3/8 gun. Now we'll go up to the muffler. So now we're going to tighten these two up with our 17 millimeter on our gun. Same with this one. And that'll wrap up this install. That wraps up this review and install of our C&L dual exhaust system with polished tips rear exit for 09-18 5.7 liter Ram 1500s with factory dual exhaust. Thanks for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.